Hey, what's going on? I was having a conversation with somebody on the job today about free will. Whether or not people have free will. Um, I suppose it's still debatable. I know a lot of people believe that we have free will. And the reason why I believe that they believe that is because of the way the human intellect works as opposed to the way the mind of any other creature in nature works. It's a little bit different. We can do things that other creatures of nature can't do. But does that really mean we have free will? Now, mind you, the person that I was having a conversation with is a diehard Christian. I called the person a diehard Christian, and the person denied it. But you know, the telltale signs are there. But I'm not going to get off into that because we were talking about free will. And what's so interesting about the concept of free will? People say we can do anything we want. But I don't believe that to be true. And I'm not talking about the obvious, like if we want to go to the moon, we got to get in a spaceship, that kind of thing. Otherwise, can't no man of his own free will just fly to the moon without any kind of man-made apparatus. I'm not talking about that kind of free will. I'm talking about basic stuff. And this is what I presented to this person, and the person was got a little indignant, tried to hide it. I could read the facial expression, and the attempt to control the indignation. But basically, what I said is this, and it goes for anybody, including myself. If you have free will, then why not feel free to drop the anger? Why not get rid of the anxiety? Why not drop the hate? I mean, it tortures us. I mean, fear, anxiety, hate, it eats us up from the inside out. So who'd want that of their own free will? Who'd want any of that? I know I don't. If you got free will, why not just get rid of these attributes? Why wait for some deity to come along long after you're dead, which, by the way, that's not how it works, even according to the Bible. You have to use your free will to get rid of all that crap anyway, according to the Bible, before you're long dead, before you experience what the Bible calls the first death. Maybe it's the second death. Yeah, it's the second death. Men supposedly die two deaths. But if a man or woman is responsible enough to do the right thing with the upkeep of their spirits, then they only die one death. And then the resurrection occurs. So why not use free will to get rid of all the evil mentalities and emotions churning inside our minds and hearts? Why is it that people have to pray constantly for relief, for mental relief, for emotional relief, to get rid of stress, which, by the way, occurs because of the way you think about your circumstances and what you're having to deal with. Whatever's put before you, you get frustrated, amongst other things. Stress kills people. So why not use free will to get rid of the mechanism, the mental mechanism that is accountable for destruction? If you have free will and you're not getting rid of all these nefarious attributes, then you want destruction. You are choosing to destroy yourself. And why would anybody want to do that? Especially people that say they believe in God and they trust God. Why would they use their free will? Unless they're kidding themselves and don't really have it. You see, free will, it's all about a mental responsibility. And people, and you know this to be true, people really ain't mentally responsible. They really ain't. Like, a person can be responsible with his family, with his job, that kind of thing. And that's cool, you know, it should be. But when it comes to mental responsibility, not so much. People are neurotic, right? Yes, they're neurotic. But they can't use their free will to drop their neurosis. Or can they? And if they can, why don't they? Yeah. And you see, because people are mentally irresponsible. That's why politicians do what they do. They know people are mentally irresponsible, so they use their power, their worldly power, to advance themselves. You know, selfish gain, that kind of thing. And the issue with politicians is that they too are mentally irresponsible. Everybody is. The clergy. Everybody's mentally irresponsible. So that brings me back to the question. And this person kept dancing around some of the things that I'm just telling you about free will and choosing to drop the bad attributes. But nevertheless, the truth is what it is. People are mentally irresponsible. But the idea is still prevalent that God has given us free will, and we used our free will to be mentally irresponsible, which took away our free will. And now it's a struggle to get it back. We're praying to have it back. Praying to God for relief. But relief doesn't come soon for a lot of people, not at all. And it's all because, I believe, the way you gave away your free will, you have to get it back. Whatever thing, and I like to use the word entity, whatever entity you gave your free will to, you have to get it back. You gave it away, you got to get it back. But if you think you already have it, then use it to your advantage. Enrich this world. Show other people how to exercise free will to cure themselves, to cure them of their mind sicknesses, and to be mentally responsible. Show them how, if you have free will, you have a responsibility to do that if you have free will. If you got free will. Or are you kidding yourself like this person that I was conversing with? Hopefully not. If you're one of these people who claim to have free will and you really do, you're going to be in a lot of trouble Judgment Day. If it's found out that you didn't use it responsibly. Or you can just admit you don't have it. Plant a seed of truth in your head. And maybe other answers will be revealed to you on how to get it back. I know this for a fact. Now, I can't readily explain how I know because it's more of an internal experience. But if you ain't got it, you got to figure out how to get it back. If you do have it, you better start using it responsibly. Anyway, thought I'd share that with you. You know what's so interesting? Quite a few people mosey up to me and they start these conversations. And I'll hardly ever answer like they expect. When they pose theories and questions, I hardly ever agree. I rarely agree. You know, I think the opposite of most people. I've discovered that. A couple of people I can thoughts run parallel oftentimes. Few people. But for the most part, I think opposite. I don't know why that is, but it is the way that it is. Makes for interesting conversations, though. Interesting conversations if people choose their free will, choose to use their free will to not get mad because I don't agree with some of the illogical things that they shoot at me. Anyway, hope you're doing well. Use that free will. Help yourself. Lift yourself up spiritually. That's what free will is all about, right? If you have to pray for guidance, depending on how much you have to pray for guidance, if you need guidance, if you keep having to pray for guidance, maybe you should pray and ask, why do I have to pray for guidance so much? Something's not right. And whatever's not right has to do with free will or lack thereof. Hope you're doing well. Thank you for listening. Subscribe to the channel. God bless.